It's cool. Feast your eyes on the prize, living in city lights. You're out in front of the race, but you can't cross that finish line. Woven through the noise, the dial never sways. If your life is beating you, you have got to change your game. Roll on through the mountains and kiss the golden sky. Ride into the sunset, find your peace.
Hey, what's up everybody? How are we all doing today? It's your boy here, Ghost, GT45 Gaming at you. And, well, it's Saturday, folks, so you know what that means. That means we've got our GTRC races. So, round 9 of the GT3 Championship Series here this weekend, and we're all the way overseas in Japan. And we're at Suzuka. As you guys can see on the screen here, Suzuka, it's a love-hate track. You know, some drivers really absolutely love this racetrack, and some drivers absolutely do not enjoy racing on this racetrack. So, with that being said, it's an interesting racetrack. It's very technical. It has a rhythm required to it, and if you can really dial into the rhythm of the racetrack with the car you're driving, then you could really be rewarded here at Suzuka. So, with that being said, though, you make one little mistake in the wrong place here at Suzuka, and you can ultimately really pay the price. So, just make sure I'm not missing any messages here. So, the driver's really got to be on point here, is basically the point. We have a 60-minute endurance race here for you folks today. It's going to be a medium tire only style race. Chances are we're going to see the drivers make at least one pit stop here today. It is 3 times tire and 3 times fuel. And it's getting close up at the top of the standings here. So, some drivers, of course, this series has been running for quite a few weeks now, and the drivers have had to pick their manufacturer, their car, at the beginning of the season. Now, some drivers have benefited from that. Some drivers' cars have maybe not been so good at the beginning of the season, have been getting a little buffs in throughout the updates throughout the season here on the game. The cars have gotten a little better. And then for some drivers, especially those that are driving the BRZ currently, have been suffering just nerf after nerf after nerf, and that is the case again, unfortunately, for our 2 BRZ drivers here today. They've lost a little more top-end speed out of these cars, so it's going to be a tough race for them here today. Now, in the early sectors of Suzuka, the BRZ should still be very strong. But when we get to that back straight and the back run towards the final chicane, coming up to the final corner for the start-finish line, that's where those cars are definitely going to suffer here. So it's going to be interesting to see how the 2 BRZ drivers do today. I mean, they're top-notch drivers at the end of the day. They're always up there fighting for the top positions in the top half of the field typically. So, you know, they're very experienced drivers. So, I'm sure they're going to be able to handle it, even though they're not probably too happy about the whole thing anyways. But there's only 2 of each manufacturer allowed on the track, or as a car per se. So you're only allowed to have 2 Porsches, 2 Supras, 2 old school Supras, 2 Corvettes, 2 GTRs, etc., all the way down through the GT3 class. So you'll only ever see 2 of the same car on the racetrack at any given time. And we're just waiting for qualifying to start here. We're going to be about 6 minutes. Looking like we're about 6 minutes away from qualifying here. Typically I jump into the chat with the guys and I get a little bit of initial details at the beginning of the race, but I'm not feeling that great today. I have a massive migraine headache and I just didn't want the extra noise. So we will do podium interviews after the race, as we always do. But yeah. We got 60 minutes of a game screaming in my ears to go through here, and then of course we bring you guys some commentary along with it. So it's gonna be a tough day today, so bear with me, chat. And I'm sure there's drivers out on track, probably chilling. So there, we got Boo Fushidara, and he's in a different livery here today. Quite a bold livery from Boo Fushidara here for this race. Typically, we just see him in that nice white simple livery, but he's really gone all out here today. It looks absolutely fantastic. Now, Boo Fushidara is our defending champion in the Premier Series here at the GTRC. He is our current returning champion, so to speak. He was the champion in the GR4 Series last season. He has missed a couple races here this season, but is still looking in good shape, actually, to potentially find his way to the top of the standings here in the GT3 Series as well. So as I'm talking about it, we're just throwing that into the stream. We'll actually bring that up at some point here, maybe during qualifying or maybe just before the race, and we'll let you know where everybody stands in the standings here. So first of all, welcome in everybody. I hope you're all having a fantastic weekend. I know for some it's very late in the evening now, so thank you for tuning in. I hope that you all enjoy our race today, as these guys here at the GTRC, the Gran Turismo Racing Community, is what that stands for those of you that aren't sure. These guys are very spirited competitors. They race hard, they have a lot of fun, and it just makes for great racing. So yeah, we're just kind of chilling. We're just waiting for qualifying to kick off. Let's see who else we got on track here. We got Arroyo getting a little bit wide there, coming around that kink. Now, if you get it right, you should be able to full send it in most of these GT3 cars, and that's due to the aerodynamic force in these cars. But if you don't quite get it right, it's a lift or a little bit of a trail brake to get through there without going wide, like we just seen Arroyo do there. And typically you'll get a penalty there, so he got really fortunate not actually to pick up a track penalty there. Maybe he did. We don't have that information on the screen, actually. So we're going to try something a little bit different this week, you guys. We're going to try and do the broadcast just the way we see it here. We're not going to put the timing board up. We're not going to do any of this fun stuff. We're going to bring the action to you just like this here this week, and leave your comments below. Let me know what you think about this view and just the way that the broadcast comes. And basically, I'm just trying to eliminate some of the visual distractions while we're broadcasting. By live timing feed and stuff like that takes up a fair amount of the screen. And if you're just watching on your mobile device or a tablet, of course, there's not a whole lot of screen there to view. So we just want to open up the viewing experience for all the viewers. So let us know in the comments below what you think. It'll have the driver names above the cars for you guys. We're just checking out all the streams. We are streaming to 3 platforms here today, ladies and gentlemen. So first and foremost, and of course most importantly, we are over on the GTRC YouTube here today. So if you're not subscribed to the GTRC YouTube, please do us all a favor. Head over to YouTube, put in GTRC. The logo that you see in the bottom right hand side of the screen is exactly the logo you're looking for on YouTube. When you find that channel, click on it. Go hit subscribe, turn on all live notifications. It's greatly appreciated. It's a free way for everybody to help the community grow. This is what we're trying to do here at the GTRC. And for those of you that haven't heard yet, GT45 Gaming has jumped on as the official sponsor of the GTRC racing community here as well. So moving into the new championship series this winter, we are stepping in as the official sponsor. We're going to see a little bit of changes in the broadcasting, of course. We're going to step it up a little bit. We're going to bring in some pretty sweet graphics. And that's going to be supplied by our boy Hypre Graphics. We'll definitely get those links up when we start these events for you guys. This guy's an absolute legend. He does amazing work, and it's just a pleasure to be able to give back to our own community, as he is a part of the GT45 Gaming community here, and it just so happens that he has an amazing service to provide that we can very well utilize. So we're going to see some new graphics moving forward here as well, folks, for the GTRC. So stepping up our game here to bring just a more pleasurable viewing experience for you guys, and we're really excited about it. So lots of big things coming here from the GTRC. So everything we can do to help them grow is absolutely appreciated, and there's just free things to do. Also, don't forget to like and share that broadcast as well if you are viewing in over on the GTRC YouTube. And I won't get notified if you are full lobby. Yes, it is. It is absolutely stuffed today. It's going to be a great race. Full grid. The drivers really seem to enjoy the GT3 championship here. It has had a lot of interest here all season long. If it seems like one driver's unable to make it, there's 5 more willing to step in and take his place or her place. So yeah, hot series. This is a very hot series, so very promising for the future as well for the GT3 side of things here, or the GTRC. We love to see it. So welcome in, Nuclear. Good luck today as well, my man. All right, who else we got? So we should be under qualifying here now, if I'm not mistaken. We have all drivers on track now. And we will bring, obviously, the information up for qualifying. Obviously, we'll want to know how everybody's sitting as we're going through qualifying here. So we will bring this information up during the qualifying time. But when we get into the race, we're going to knock all this extra visual distraction out of the stream here. We're going to see... how it looks. So I definitely look forward to everybody's feedback, not only the viewers, but of course the officials over at the GTRC, and of course just the racers themselves as well. Again, we just want to try and give you guys as much of the visual experience as we can here at Gran Turismo 7. It's an absolutely phenomenal game as far as graphics and how it looks and how it's presented goes. They've done such a great job. They've spared no expense when it comes to their attention to detail in the graphics, that's for sure. So it's just a viewing pleasure. It's a lot of fun. And I mean, we are absolutely stuffed. And we got Happy Pappy up in the house today. Absolutely love to see it. Happy Pappy coming off an absolutely fantastic finish in the Miata series last weekend, finding himself on the podium for the amateurs. So coming off an absolutely amazing race and finishing 6th overall in the field as well, ladies and gentlemen. So some newfound confidence for Happy Pappy here, and we love to see it. But we do have Pigham's here. Pigham's new to the series this season, and he's quick. This is a quick driver. And this guy puts in a lot of work. He puts in a lot of time. He understands the cars. He understands the racetracks. He comes from a very lucrative community with some very top shelf race car drivers here in the sim racing world, and not only the sim racing world, but in real racing world in some instances as well. So he's very well networked. He has a very good group of drivers that he gets to work with and practice with, and in reality he's just got some incredible pace and amazing driving skills. So yeah, he's definitely going to be a guy to be looking out for here today. You can see him just letting Hellraiser go through as he messed his lap up. He realizes that, so he's just allowing these guys to get through that so they doesn't ruin their hot lap, so to speak. So his racing awareness as well is top notch. So we do have Doug here so far, currently sitting in pole position with a 201 flat. I mean, it doesn't get any more flat than what Doug has sitting there right now. It is literally a 201 flat. And again, in this BRZ, now he is going to be the first one to whine, complain, cry, and come up with every excuse in the book about this car, but yet he keeps winning races. So maybe they do need to keep nerfing it. Boo now taking pole with that 911 RSR. And the 911 RSR has become very quickly a very strong GT3 car here in Gran Turismo 7. It's a very formidable car to race against now. It's extremely nimble and quick through these technical sectors, and it doesn't have too terrible of a top end speed all of a sudden either. So, great car. It's a great car, and Bufu Shidara knows how to drive it. So this is obviously always a guy to watch out for here in any series that he's competing in. We got AMS Arroyo here, And he's a quick driver too. He's fairly new to the series, I believe, or just hasn't raced that many races yet this season. But I mean, he comes from Apex Motorsports team, so we know their guys are quick. We know they're good racers. So he's always a competitor when he's on track as well. And he's in that C7 Corvette here, so maybe not the best track for that particular car, but we'll see how he gets it around. Doug, of course, now dropped down to P3 here, but that don't mean nothing. We'll see. We got Astro, and Astro's up in the Ford GT race car, the 2018 version. And just most recently, since the update, this is one of the cars that actually got a little bit of a buff. It got a horsepower increase, as a matter of fact, and has become quite a good car. I was messing around with this car throughout the week, just in random lobbies and just driving it around for something to do, just to check it out, and quite thoroughly enjoying this Ford GT race car now. So it's going to be interesting to see how that fares out here. Suzuka is not exactly the best car when it comes to nimbleness, because I mean, look how wide this thing is. I mean, you can just see the carbon footprint being left behind from this car as it goes up and down the racetrack. And I mean, fuel, I can really see fuel being an issue in this car. It's got a lot of horsepower, so I mean, we're talking Ford V8 power here. Ford's always been able to do it right when it comes to their engines, so it's going to be interesting to see how this car does here today. Just drop it down into 6th place there. We've got Bo Snipe here. He's in a Mustang. Mustang's been a great car here in GT7. We see lots of guys really, when you get the handle on this car, do quite well with this car. So it's going to be interesting to see how that Mustang handles out here. But we're loving the variation in manufacturers here. And man, these things just keep changing. At 159 is pole currently right now. So provisionally pole is Boo. And now we've got Petrolhead here up in P2 in that AMG Mercedes. Now the Mercedes, again, not a bad car here in GT7. Very stable. We got Arroyo, getting it all kinds of wrong there. You can see him just getting it a little bit wrong there. So get back on track, letting that driver get around there as well. Hairraiser now up into P4, and he's in that old school Supra. We got Doug 5th in the BRZ. So now we're starting to maybe see that nerfing in the BRZ a little bit here. We got Bo in the Mustang. We got Astro in the Ford GT race car. We got Trone in the Supra. Trone is always in that Supra. We got Bar 27 in the other old school Supra as well. We got Supra here. And we don't know which one he's in because I can't tell. He's in one of the older Skylines here. We got the other BRZ here in Ibra. So Ibra's a pretty quick calculator race car driver. So only see him in P11 here. They've over-nerfed the car potentially here. We got Magic Man in the Mazda here. And he's quite laggy today. We got Type R here in P13 and then Toyota FT1. Happy Pappy in the Aston Martin, and Pickham's here in P15 in that Supra, so a little bit shocking actually. A little bit shocking. We'll have to see what happens there as we go. He must not have been able to just hook up that sweet lap yet, is what I'm thinking. We're not getting our alerts through my headphones here. Just bear with me, chat. I apologize if I missed anybody. There we go. That should be fixed now. Edward, how are we, my guy? Welcome to the stream, my dude. Thank you for the like. Appreciate you very, very much. Hope you're doing well over there on the eastern seaboard. I know the eastern part of the country has just been getting smashed lately, so hope everybody's staying safe. So Bufu Shadar is not that far ahead of P2 Petrolhead here. So Bufu Shadar is still sitting currently on pole. We got Petrolhead currently sitting in provisional second. And he's right up on the back end of Bufu Shadar here, trying to grab some of that slip potentially. We got Arroyo here from AMS in P3. We got Piggums now up into P4. There it is. We knew he wasn't going to stay down at the bottom forever. Hairraiser here in P5. Doug in P6. Bo Snipe in P7. We got Astro in P8. We got Tro and Colby in 9. We got Ibra in 10. We've got Bar 27 in 11th. We've got Supra in 12th place. We've got Magic Man in 13th. We've got Type R in 14th. And Happy Pappy here in P15. Full grid today, folks. Cannot wait to see what's going to go down here. We do have some lagginess in the lobby. We got a couple drivers that are definitely lagging a little bit here, but hopefully hopefully everything goes well there. I mean, it's tough racing against lagging drivers. It's hard to predict where their car is going to be. It makes you a little uneasy as a driver. And, yeah, you know. And Bufu Shidara is actually up on his fastest lap right now, so I think these guys are probably going to get about 5 laps, so we may start seeing these guys parking at the end of turn 1 here real soon. I'm not sure how many laps they've got this week. It usually ends up to be about 10 to 12 minutes of qualifying, so we might see one more hot lap from these drivers here. And Bufu Shidara bettering his lap right there with a 1:59.674. And yeah, we're seeing the end of qualifying here. Petrol's coming around right now. And Arroyo going to take P2 right at the final there. So great job by Arroyo. And parking that Corvette there with some style. Got Petrolhead in P3. We got Piggles in P4. We got Hairraiser P5. We got Doug P6. We got Snipe in 7. Bar coming across in P8. We've got Astro in P9. We've got Tron in 10. Ibra 11th. Supra in P12. Magic Man starting in 13th. We got Type R in 14th. And Happy Pappy's coming around here right now. So let's stick with Pappy here as he's coming through the chicane. Going to come around this final right-hander. And let's see if he can jump up in the time here. Ooh, he takes a ton of time out there. About 4.5 seconds. So great lap there by Pappy. And he's going to just settle out in P15 there. Going to do a little practice start on the race grid here maybe? Nope. Alright, so that's it, folks. We're going to be kicking this thing off here now. So it is race time. 60-minute endurance race here today, folks. So, congratulations to our pole sitter, Boo Fushidara, and it's race time. So kick them tires, light them fires. It's time to go racing, folks. So we do have false start here. If any driver jumps those red lights, they will get an immediate penalty right on the grid. So here we go. 5 reds, waiting. Oh, and all we're gonna get here is these camera angles. So we're going to go behind. We're going to take a look from the leader, Boo, who gets a great start from that Porsche 911. We got Arroyo in second place. We're really starting to close up here already. Petrohead right in P3 there, so he's losing that position early on. No, sorry, I forgot. Arroyo actually started in P2, so he just snagged that in the end of qualifying there. We got Hairraiser back there in P4 and race on. So let's get... Great shot as we're coming through the S's here. And all the drivers looking like they're just filing through single file here. Got a little bit of a battle there between P10, P9, and P8 here. That Ford GT was all over the back end of bar there, but wasn't able to make the job happen. So... Again, it's just lap 1 of several laps to go. You see Tron sticking his nose in on Ibra there a little bit. Not going to make that happen, but he did take a look. Happy Pappy up into 14th here, so... Ooh, and both these guys, look at all three, top 3 drivers getting it wrong. Ooh, and Petrolhead with a great save there on the Mercedes. It's going to cost him a couple of positions there, though, as you can see him drop all the way back into P5, so... We're going to lose this. And you got Arroyo right all over Boo Fushidara here. I mean, Boo Fushidara is trying to get an early gap here, and that Corvette is just not letting him get away. So we're coming around that chicane for the very first time here today. And, ooh, Arroyo getting a little bit wrong there. A little early on the throttle, got that car sideways. So he's going to give Boo Fushidara a little bit of a distance there, a little bit of space. So... good for Boo Fushidara. We're going to jump in on the cockpit view here. Out of the views that we have, this is by far the best view to be hanging out in. And you can see right there, he's looking over in that mirror. He knows that that Corvette is right there. So in that right side mirror, you can see that he is starting to get a little bit of a gap here. Got that left mirror. Now we're making a right. And you can see he's got that middle camera there as well for seeing what's coming up in behind him there. So you can see, obviously the cars have a lot of... You can see the Porsche isn't too terribly bad for visualization as the driver's able to look around, but they have a Hans device around them as well. Quick stop in, man. Here's no game sound. Here, comms fine. Appreciate you, Ian. Game sounds activated. Boom. There we go. Appreciate you. So we're on board now with our P2 driver, Arroyo, and he's only about half a second behind Boo here, so I mean, Boo's not going anywhere, but you can see that Porsche is so nimble coming around these corners, and that Corvette really has to work to get that car around this technical sector here, around this racetrack, so that could affect the tire wear here on that Corvette today. He's got a nice little gap here to P3 as well, which looks like now his hair raiser actually, so driver's doing a pretty good job at breaking free here in first and second place. And great lines here by the Corvette. Getting a little bit deep here, but still managing to grab a good exit there. Ooh, a little bit sideways. The Corvette is a very spicy car. It has a lot of low-end power in it. And due to that low-end power, sometimes it's a little bit spicy when you try to get on the throttle on exit. So, and you can see that happen there when we're on board. We can see Pigham's in 4th place here, just behind Hair Raiser right now. We're on board with Hair Raiser. Hair Raiser is our P3 driver, folks. And he's just trying to catch up, but also trying not to give any position up. Getting a little bit sideways there. That actually cost him a little bit on exit there, so we'll have to see if Pickens is going to get a run on him here. Pickens just seems pretty content to be where he is right now as well. Might be back in a few. Good luck to all. Hey, we love you here, Ian. Much appreciation, my guy. We're going to jump on board with Piggums here as he's kind of in the chase right now. So whether or not he's actually looking to make a move on Hair Raiser is undetermined at this point. But, ooh, you can see he's really struggling to get that super around this racetrack here today. So we got Petrolhead in 5th place there, so we seen him get a little bit wrong going into that final hairpin there before the long straight into what was it, 85R or whatever it is. And he's just behind here in 5th place. You can see now that he's just starting to pop into that rear cam of our 4th place driver Piggums here. And of course, you look over in that mirror and you can see both those cars there as well. So Piggums is a pretty cool, calm, collected race car driver, though, from our experiences so far with Piggums. He doesn't seem to panic too much, and he always seems to have a plan. So we'll have to see how he progresses. You can see the leaders are just up ahead here. So, I mean, nobody's really ran away. Ooh, he gets a great run on Hair Raiser here, and we're going to see a move, folks. And there we go, and Hair Raiser just letting it happen. He's just not going to fight that. It's going to cost him time if they fight it. And now Hair Raiser has a problem with Petrol. Petrol on the outside here. We're going to stay behind Piggums as it goes on as the Mercedes going to get it, goes in late on the brakes, and he's going to get the job done coming into the chicane. Great move by Petrolhead there to grab P4 off of Hair Raiser. So Hair Raiser losing 2 positions there. Fairly unfortunate, but great move by Petrolhead in this Mercedes there. He went in late on the brakes, he got the position coming into the chicane, and held both those apexes, and just no shot on Hair Raiser having a response there. So great job here by Petrolhead today. And now chasing down Piggums here. You can see Arroyo getting it wrong there. That's going to allow Piggums to get by. And, oh, Petrolhead's really got to back off there. Oh, and Arroyo getting it wrong as well. Was there contact? There may have been contact there. I think there was contact there, folks. Really, really, really unfortunate there for the Mercedes driver as he just got into the back end of that Corvette, it looked like. So, fair play to him, though. He's waiting on track, of course, to give the position back to Arroyo. Lots of time left for these guys yet. No need to panic here. Just got to get back out on track. Maybe help each other out a little bit of drafting, and rock and roll. Hashtag #D.Raid. You want to talk about legends, chat? You want to talk about legends? Got a legend in the house here right now. Huge, huge love to D.Dot, man. Coming in with the big time raid. We got Ryan coming in with the thumbs up. Danny coming in with the thumbs up. Mark coming in with the thumbs up. Ian with the heart. How's everybody doing today here? Love from Adelaide. Hey, how you doing, my man? How you doing? How you doing? Hashtag GTR Posse. Hey, that's what we love to see. Welcome into the GTRC Round 9 of the GT3 Championship Series, ladies and gentlemen. Mike far away, mate. Sound check. All right, we'll bring it closer. We'll bring it closer. All right, so where were we here? We're in 9th place here. We've seen lots of action here. Unfortunately, we don't have all our stupid camera angles yet. So we got Troll and Kobe here. Troll and Kobe's been having a pretty good race so far. Cool, calm, collected, very consistent race car driver. He's just chilling here right now. He's trying to gain in on Hair Raiser here right now. So looking really good so far here early on is Trolling Kobe. We're going to move through our 8th place driver, Ibra here. Again, another consistent, solid race car driver. The guys at the group always say that he's commentator's favorite. We got Chris Houghton coming in with the thumbs up. Mark coming in with the thumbs up. Scott coming in with the thumbs up. We got Bradley with the thumbs up. Jake with the thumbs up as well. Cher is coming in from left, right, and center. You guys are absolutely amazing. We love all you guys over there at the DDR community. We got MacMillan in the house as well. Over the visit from D.90, hashtag D.Raid. Hey, appreciate you all. My goodness, you guys are lighting it up. Lighting it up. Let's get a hashtag Ian in the chat for the 110 star bomb. Much love, everybody. Much love. Welcome, welcome, Raiders. Fantastic stuff. D.90, another amazing commentator himself, ladies and gentlemen, over on Facebook Gaming there. Absolutely stand-up creator, absolutely stand-up racer, and his commentary is fire. Make sure everybody heads over to D.90 on Facebook Gaming. Throw the man a like, a share, hit the sub if you're not following this guy. He will make you laugh till you pee your pants, folks. So, much love out there, D.90. We love you, my man. Appreciate you, my guy. Lou's coming in with that share as well. Woo, you guys are absolutely lighting it up right now. Holy moly. No game audio. I appreciate you guys. My apologies on that. We forgot to hit the button. We got Richard Watt coming in with the 25 stars as well. Let's get a hashtag Richard up in the chat, everybody. Alright, and let's get back to the racing here. I do apologize to my race car drivers, but here we go. So, 8th place Ibra. You can see he's closing in on Trolling Kobe here. We've had a pretty good race so far on Suzuka. We haven't seen too many complications yet. We got Type R in P10. We got Pappy here in P11. Now, Pappy started at the back of the grid, so he's up 4 positions here. We've got Arroyo, who we've seen with a little bit of an incident there with Petrolhead, but Petrolhead stopping on track to give that position back. We've got Magic Man here in P14 and Petrolhead, sorry, 13, Petrolhead in P14, and we've got our race car, our 4GT race car driver Astro here in P15, so maybe having a little bit of an incident, not sure what's going on here. Ooh, you seen him having to bail out there, he came in a little too hot. Ooh, that was close, chat, that was very close to having a big time accident there. But let's jump on with our leader here is Bufo Shadara. My goodness, you guys, absolutely crazy. Woo, what is up, everybody? Woo. Alright, let's catch up here. Hashtag fan, hashtag D.Raid, Ian, hashtag Mr. Watt, keep smashing it, bro. I've now come to show love, mate. Keep smashing it. We appreciate you, Danny. We really, really do, my man. Absolute legend. Absolute legend. Alright, so, back to the business here. Comms, we are approximately about 15 minutes into this race, ladies and gentlemen. With 60-minute endurance race here. It is medium tires only during this championship series, and it is 3 times fuel and 3 times tire. This is round 9 in Suzuka of 12 rounds, so we are essentially in that chase for the championship, and we're going to bring the standings up here shortly. But let's get caught up here on what's going on. So, Bufu Shadara is in the lead. As you can see, he's got a pretty comfortable little gap there. And we're just trying something a little different here. We're going to try and trying to remove some of the visual distraction from the stream here today. We've got all the live timing information off. We'll bring it up maybe closer to about the halfway mark of the race so you guys can take a look at tire situations and all that fun stuff. But we're just looking for some clean visualness here. And Bufu Shadara getting it wrong there. He might actually get that track limit penalty there. We'll have to see. Half-second track limit penalty probably won't hurt him too much here, but that's definitely going to allow our second-place driver to gain some time, who is Pigums right now. Just moving down to our second-place driver is Pigums. Now, he's a new entry to the series this season and proven to be a formidable opponent here for these guys this season. So it's going to be really interesting to see as we get through the final run through our championship here this season. You can see coming through with that Supra. Now, these guys are all in different manufacturers. There's only 2 of each type of car allowed on the racetrack at any given time. So some of these drivers might not actually maybe be comfortable with the choice of car that they're in just due to the fact that that car wasn't available. Maybe that's the one they want to drive. So, and I mean, speaking of cars, we all know the BRZ has been getting no love from Polyphony here. Nerf after nerf after nerf, and it got nerfed again in this most recent update here. It lost some top end speed. So the 2 drivers in the series with the BRZ, which is our 3rd place driver currently Doug, and our 10th place driver I believe Ibra, are in these BRZs, so they've been having a battle of the updates more than they've been having a battle of their competitors in this championship series here. But Doug's been holding his own pretty good here. He's again P3, so managing that car well. But he's got Hairraiser P4 not too far behind him, and Hairraiser's opting to go old school here in the GT3s with that old school '97 Supra, and he's really been humming this thing around the track all season long, really well with this car. So it goes to prove that some of these old cars are still very feasible. Richard Watt coming in with that thumbs up as well. Much love, mate. We appreciate you. Alright, we are live on 3 channels here today too, folks. We're live on, of course, GT45 Facebook and YouTube, but we're also live on the GTRC YouTube today. And we are asking, if you don't mind, to head over to the GTRC YouTube. Just search GTRC, look for the logo on the bottom right-hand side of the screen there, and click subscribe. Turn on all those live notifications for us. It's just a free way to help these guys grow, continue to get more reach for their network, allow them to find more drivers for these amazing leagues, and just continue to keep the great action coming week in and week out from these guys. Every Saturday these guys are racing, and they're always putting on a great show for us here. And GT45 Gaming is now the proud sponsor of this group as well, so lots more to come from the GTRC here. Trone up in the P6. Trone's having a fantastic race here. He's usually very calm, cool, collected. He sits very near the latter half of the mid-pack for the first stint, and he just kind of chills back there, and he just saves his race car. But today he's looking racy. So he's P6 here and holding quite well. He's trying to gain on that Mustang up in front of him here. Supra in the old school skyline here. So we're seeing an old school come out. And in P7, looking quite solid here as well in P7. We've got Ibra here in the other BRZ, so he's made up a couple of positions since the last time we've seen him here. He was in P10, so starting to make his way through the field here. He's on the back end of Supra, 2.5 or so behind, and just trying to make up that ground. Now this BRZ, even though they've nerfed the top end out of this car, is still very good through the technical sector. So I mean, for the most part, this is still a well-suited racetrack for this car. But it's just that top end speed, and that's where this car really does suffer here at the moment, the way it stands in the game under BOP settings. It's really unfortunate. Got a hashtag notifies up in the chat and followage from Mr. Richard Watt there. What do we got here? We got 166 days. Hey, much love, Richard. Much love. We appreciate you. All right. So we're going to be probably getting fairly close to our midway point. So let's bring up some info. Let's let you guys take a look at all the driver situations here. It's really interesting to see the 4GT race car in this race. It's the first time we've seen it this season, so pretty exciting actually. Alright, so let's take a look at our situations here. We're 15 minutes into the race so far. We'll just bring the information up here for you guys shortly for a little bit. And this is our leader, Bu Fushidara. So we're not even close to halfway through this race yet. We're only a quarter of the way through this race, and you can see fuel is about half a tank. So doing really good on fuel. Of course, the Porsche isn't too bad on fuel. As long as you're not revving it off the rev limiter all race long, it'll survive quite a while. Moving down the field here to our second place driver, Pigums. And right now, in survival mode, you can see the tires on that car, they're still rubber there, but I'm sure he's starting to feel it. We got Doug here in the BRZ, and his rear tires look just phenomenal in this car, actually. But you can really see he's putting some pressure on those front tires, and he's actually got quite a bit less fuel than the two drivers up in front so far. Hairraiser in behind here. So you can see these medium tires taking a pretty good licking here on Suzuka. It's only lap 9, so essentially these drivers have done about 27 laps with the multiplier on these tires so far is what that breaks down to. We got Bo Snipe here in P5 with that Mustang. Listen to that thing, sounds so great, doesn't it? Keep grinding, Mr. 45. We are going back to our regular streaming program next week, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully all goes well. Moving down, we got P6 driver Supra here, so looking good. Supra's been driving really good here. He's starting to lose a little bit on that Mustang here, though. And for the most part, you can see the tire wear and the fuel consumption, for the most part, between all these cars is relatively close. We got Bar 27 here in P7. And Bar 27's a pad driver. You can tell by his movements here. Doug is also a pad driver here in the series. I believe, I know Happy Pappy is as well, and I believe there may be a couple more here as well in the series. We got Ibra here. Ibra's looking the best so far out of all the drivers as far as conditions go on his rubber. So our P8 driver is looking real good on his rubber here. And there we go. We got Bo Snipe going into pit lane right now, which is fantastic for me. That means I get all my camera angles. So we got Type R here up into P9, making that Toyota FT1 look real solid right now. Happy Pappy up into P9 now as he just goes around. I can't find him now. There he is. Happy Pappy in that Aston now up into P9 here. He's having a good race again, folks. Happy Pappy is absolutely just gleaming confidence right now. We love to see it. We got Petrolhead here in P10. We know he's a quick driver. He just had a little bit of an incident with AMS Arroyo earlier. A little bit of contact in the back end of that Corvette and caused a little bit of an incident there. So he pulled off track to get that position back to the driver. So fair play to Petrolhead there. And of course now just trying to make that time back up. So we got Trone Kobe here in P11. Not sure what happened to Trone there. He was in P6 for a while. Bo Snipe in P12. We just seen him make a stop. We got Magic Man here in 13th. Arroyo in 14th. He's a quick driver, so we know he's going to be able to make up some time somewhere. And then we got Astro just coming out of pit lane here in that Ford GT. So there we go. We got our TV cam finally. Absolutely love to hear that because we're so tired of the chase cam views. We got to have some TV angles. That's where the good shots are. We can zoom in on the cars in certain parts of the racetrack. You know, we get some fun stuff this way. So right now, currently, Piggums is leading. Now, I'm not sure what happened to Boo Fushidara here. Did he pit? He did not. So Boo must have made a mistake somewhere on this racetrack, causing him to go off the race. And again, he's wide coming into this final corner. So Boo struggling a little bit with that Porsche 911. You can see that front end damage. So Boo definitely had some contact with the wall somewhere. So Piggums now in the lead. And we actually see Piggums coming into pit lane here. So let's get a look at this car as it comes in. Great Red Bull livery here on this car here today as well, folks. So looking fantastic as always. Are all these drivers on track? And they're just putting some petrol in that car. We got Hairraiser here coming into pit lane as well. So 20 minutes into the race, we're seeing these drivers make their first stops of the race. So we're looking to see probably some two-stop strategy from most of the drivers here today. We now got Bar 27 coming into pit lane and getting his tires and fuel as well. We have also got Supra in pit lane. You can see him fueling that car up right now. We've got Type R just pulling into pit lane here as well. So most of the drivers have opted to pit at the same time here. So quite a similar strategies for the most part through the field. We got Petrolhead coming into pit lane here as well. And he definitely needed some rubber in that Mercedes. Alright, so back out to the racetrack. Boo Fushidara back in the lead of this race, but he still has to make a stop here yet today. We've got Doug in P2 also still needing to make his pit stop here in the race. We've got Ibra in P3 who also yet has to make his stop, but it kind of looks like Ibra might be pushing for a one-stop strategy here. We'll have to see. We got Piggums, who's now the first driver that's made the stop in P4. We got Happy in P5 with Hairraiser chasing in P6. We're going to stick with this here for a second as Hairraiser's on the outside. Oh, he backs off. He just slips back in behind that Aston Martin, so he's just going to use the slip here. Is he going to make the move coming into this hairpin here, this double corner, these double lefts? Yes, he's going to take it, he's going to stick it, and he's going to send it, and he is going to absolutely get it. So P5 there by Hairraiser. Great job setting up that move for the inside part of the corner. Great racing awareness by Pappy. They're giving lots of room to Hairraiser, and Hairraiser giving lots of room to Pappy, and both those drivers got through there nice and clean with very, very minimal time loss there. As you can see, Happy Pappy's now right tucked into Hairraiser's slipstream. Great job in the dirty air there by Pappy as well to really hold that line there. So Pappy is absolutely on it today. Trone in P7 just behind here as well. So we got a little bit of a battle there in the mid-pack happening. We got Bar now in P8, Super in P9. We got Bo Snipe in P10, Magic Man in P11. Not sure what happened there. Oh, Magic Man is lagging so badly. Alright, looked like he went off track there, so Bo's back at 10. You see Arroyo right there in behind in P11, so Arroyo's going to look to make up some time in this mid-stint here. I think this is going to be the stint where we're really going to see Arroyo really full send this Corvette here. Pappy in pit lane now. He's getting his tires and his fuel. Petrohead's just coming around here right now. He's going to grab that spot on Pappy. Pappy's going to come out just in behind and getting a pit lane infraction there, so he figured... Well, that's unfortunate. 3-second penalty really hurts. That is a long time to be sitting on the racetrack. But our leader, Bu Fushidara, so again, he hasn't stopped yet. So potentially maybe pushing a one-stop strategy here as well is Bu Fushidara. We've seen most of the drivers looking like they're on a two-stop here. But we do have a couple of drivers that have remained to stay out on track. So again, we got mixed strategies in the race here today. You know, for the most part, we've seen pretty even strategies across this series in the first half of the series. And then we've seen a driver pull a no-stop off. And ever since we've seen that no-stop pulled off here in this GT3 championship this season, we're starting to see a variety of strategies coming into these races, and it's making for some absolutely fantastic racing. So we're going to jump on board with Bu Fushidara, who's our current race leader, and we're going to do an onboard lap with him, so enjoy the lap, folks. And there we have it, an onboard lap with our current race leader, Bu Fushidara. Doug Burrow currently sitting in P2 here right now, and again another driver who looks like he's going to go with the one-stop strategy. So our first and second place drivers are apparently, or appearing, to be on a one-stop strategy. Piggums, who's the first driver that has made a stop here, is in P3 on a two-stop strategy, is what it appears to be. Ibra here, who's also apparently on a one-stop strategy as well, is in P4 chasing. So Ibra's gone from P10 up into P4 just by having a little bit of a different strategy than the other drivers. Now, the question is when these guys stop at approximately about 5-10 minutes here to make their pit stop halfway through the race, are they going to have the tire left in those cars to fight off the drivers on the two-stop, or we're going to have tires that are about 15 to 20 minutes fresher than the drivers on the one-stop strategy? So that's where the intrigue comes in, and the decision-making comes in. Hair Raiser in P5 here, and we're going to bring the standings up for you guys here shortly, actually. Up on screen, we got Tyrone Colby in P6 here. Got Bar 27 in P7. Now these are drivers that are typically fighting up in the top half, top 3, 4, 5 spots, and sitting down in the mid pack here right now. So you can see that the GT3 Championship is really starting to get competitive and spicy here. We got Supra in P8. Oh, we've lost a driver. We have lost our 4 GT race car driver here. We have Arroyo in P9. We have Bo in P10, so some kind of issue there with that 4GT, and they've put it behind the wall here and retired it for the race. So really unfortunate there for Astro. All right, so we're down one driver. Oh, and Boo getting it a little bit wrong. This is what I'm talking about, that car. The Porsche's a mid-rear engine rear drive car. It doesn't like heavy braking zones. And that's exactly what happens to it when you get it a little bit wrong under braking. It just swings, and oh, Boo is having all sorts of trouble on these tires here right now, in the lead of the race here, and he needs to get going. You can just see those tires screaming at him here. So he's back on the road. You can... Oh boy, it's all falling apart for Boo Fushidara here right now. He just needs to calm down, just needs to keep it together. Pigums is going to get by for P1. We're going to see Doug get by for P2, and we got Ibra coming around the outside here. Is he going to get it done? Yes, so Ibra's going to grab P3 from Boo Fushidara. So our race leader having a sequence of bad corners there. Oh, you can still see him having some issues with that car here. We're going to be seeing Boo Fushidara making a pit stop very soon, I think, here, ladies and gentlemen, to try and get some rubber underneath that car. He's struggling with the tire. That is all tire wear underneath that Porsche 911 RSR right now. And I can tell you this from personal experience. I drive the car quite a bit. And that car, when the tires start to go, it is very, very hard to handle. And we can just see that that's the case there. Combination of a mistake on a corner, a little bit sliding sideways, getting into some dirt, getting some dirt on those race tires, and then of course the next couple 2-3 corners, dirty tires, just not having as much grip, and some worn out tires. Just a combination for a series of mishaps for Boo Fushidara. So he just needs to collect himself again here, get back on his pace, and get that car back under control here. We got Ibra into P2, so something has happened to Doug here as well. So in P2, Ibra has grabbed a position off Doug here. Hellraiser now in P4, we've got Tron in P5, we've got Bar in P6, we've got Supra in P7, we've got Boo all the way down into P8 here. These guys having all kinds of issues on these worn tires here all of a sudden. And Boo Fushidara is a very, very good racer, so it's very unfortunate to see that he's struggling like this here today, but that's the way racing goes, ladies and gentlemen. We all have our good and bad days, and currently Boo Fushidara is just having a little bit of a series of rough events, so he's just got to, like I said, just got to refocus, lock it back in, and get back on his paces here. And I'm not sure if Bo realizes that Boo is... Oh boy. And it's just all going wrong here right now for Boo Fushidara. I'm not sure what that was about there, but you know he's coming into pit lane here. He's going to get some fresh tires on that car, and he'll start making his paces back up. But really unfortunate series of events here for Boo Fushidara currently. So Pigums is now our current race leader, and maybe breaking something in the suspension of that Porsche 911. He was really having a hard time to get that thing to rotate. Maybe there was maybe a tie rod or something that broke in the front end of that car. It's hard to say. In the pit lane now, the crew will take a look at that race car. Hellraiser here in P2. We got Tron Kobe now up into P3. So we have been seeing some pretty good podium changes here so far throughout the race. We're not seeing a lot of battling happening right now. It's mid-race. This is typically what we expect to see in endurance racing. Everybody's just kind of settled into their strategies and their rhythms right now. In about another 10 to 15 minutes, we'll probably start seeing these drivers decide it's time to push, and we'll start seeing the gaps close up a little bit between our drivers here. The pit strategies are also going to help close these guys back up as well. So Super up into P6 here. We got Bo in P7. Ibra down in P8 here, so not sure what's going on there either. Doug in P9. maybe they've just made their stops. Type R is in P10 here. We got Pappy in P11. We've got Magic in 12th. We've got Boo has come out in P13, so Boo has some work to do. So back to our race leader, Piggums. Very fortunate there, just, you know, being patient, just racing his race, and yeah, now he's found himself leading the charge here, so let's see if he can bring this one home. He's been waiting to get into the top spots here in the GTRC. He's been second. He's been there every race, but he just hasn't been able to have the answer for Bufu Shidara, but maybe today's his day. And you can really see that he's locked in right now. He's really focused in. Earlier in the race, we've seen him looking like he was struggling a little bit, but it really seems like he's dialed in now. And that could be trouble for the rest of the field. So Piggum's in the race lead. We got Hairraiser here chasing in P2. So we've seen all those drivers on the one-stop strategy make their pit stops here now. And you can see it's pretty good distance from him to Piggums, as Piggums is already around the corner there. You see Trone just coming into the hairpin here in P3, so he's got, you know, 5-6 seconds in behind Hairraiser here, so we got some distance between our top 3 drivers currently. And then we've got Barr, who's probably a little 3-4 seconds behind Trone, so a little bit of distance between all our... Ooh, we had a driver getting sideways around the corner there. Petrolhead here in P5, so he's having a pretty good recovery here so far. Supra in P6 here. Whoa, you can see him getting on that throttle, having all kinds of issues getting that car to really stick the rubber to the asphalt there. We've got Bo in 7 in that Mustang, and Ibra chasing in P8 in the BRZ, and Doug in the other BRZ just behind Ibra in P9 there as well. So you know, it's a fairly familiar looking livery there on that Mustang race car there too. So Ibra and Doug are about 2.5 seconds apart from each other here. We got Type R in P10, so he's holding up the top 10 here in that FT1. So good, should be a good racetrack for this car. Obviously, it's a technical racetrack. These cars are quite good in technical sectors of racetracks. The only thing that's lacking is the top end speed for this straightaway, and of course the start-finish straightaway. But the rest of the track, that car should have handled. We got Happy Pappy here in P11. Again, having another good race here. Magic Man here in P12, having a pretty good race himself as well. We got Boo in 13th, so let's see what Boo can do here from P13. And it looks like we've lost 2 drivers now, so who is the other driver we've lost? We have lost a second driver here today. I think we've lost the AMS driver, Arroyo. We've lost our Corvette driver here as well, so he's also got his car tucked in behind the wall here today too. So we got 2 drivers down here. So Team Corvette and Team 4GT having some struggles with the race cars here today, and really unfortunate having to retire out of the race here today. But back to what is happening on track, and Piggums is leading now. Piggums looks like he's got a pretty sizable lead here. We're going to turn the information back on for you guys near the end of the race here, so you guys can see the timing feeds and all that stuff. Right now we got some pretty good spacing in the race, but we are going to see another round of pit stops coming here from a lot of these drivers, so that's when things are going to really start to tighten up here, I think. We've now got Bar 27 in P3 here, so Petrol now up into P4. We've got Supra up into P5, and he's got a half-second penalty he's going to serve right now. And that's a tough spot to serve that penalty. It really slows you down coming into, what is this, 85R or something like that? We got Bo Snipe here in that Mustang. P6, looking good. Ibra in P7 here. Now the BRZs, these two BRZ drivers were a little concerned about their cars here, but they're still holding their own pretty good here. P7, and I'm not sure where Doug went, but P8 here for Trone. Doug's in P9. Type R's in P10. We've got Happy Pappy in P11. Magic Man in P12, and Boo still coming here in P13. So we're not sure how far back Boo Fushidara is right now, but big implications in on the standings. And with that being said, let's actually bring the standings up. Alright, so here we go, folks. So this is the driver standings. We're going to lose this for a second as well. For our after Red Bull Ring in Austria last 2 weeks ago. So currently in the lead of the championship is Boo Fushidara with 117 points. Doug is in second with 97 points. We have Keytops, who's not in the race today, with 93 points. We have Bar27 in fourth place with 92. So big implications for Key. Razor in 5th with 85 points, and then we have a bit of a gap there. And then we got Tron with 62, Monkey Mafia with 61, who's not here today. We have Ibra with 57, we have Pigums with 54. He's coming in late to the series, so climbing the standings quickly here. Type R right behind in P10 with 36 to round out our top 10 here, and then we have a whole bunch more drivers down at the bottom here. So you can see that right now the way things are sitting, huge implications are going to happen in these standings after this race this week if it sits the way it sits right now. And I do suspect we are going to see our first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth place drivers all make a stop here. So Ibra right now is actually looking to be in a very good position for a potential race win here, as all 6 of them drivers up ahead are gonna have to make another stop here. Alright, here we go. So we're going to start seeing these drivers do exactly that. We're going to see these pit stops starting to happen here. So we've got Mr. Bowsnipe in that Mustang coming in right now. Fresh set of rubber. He's going to put a little bit of fuel, maybe a full tank of fuel, it's hard to say, in that race car. Type R is coming around right now with Happy Pappy in tow. These two drivers have basically been nose to tail all race long here. Magic Man's coming across right now. We got Boo Fushidara. Here he comes. He's starting to close in on the pack here now. And Bowsnipe coming out just behind Boo Fushidara there. Ooh, Bo on the cold tires. Maybe getting that corner a little bit wrong there. Now he's going to have some dirty tires on top of it as well here. Alright, so Boo Fushidara now from P13 to P12, looking to try and grab P11 here. We're going to stick with this just for a minute here. We're going to jump on board, actually, with Boo Fushidara. Now, he's in a tough position here. Magic Man's lagging a little bit, so it's really hard to determine where exactly that car is at any given time when you're near it, right? So I think Boo's going to be looking for an opportunity to get a good run on a straightaway here and try to find his... Ooh, as you can see right there, it's really hard to determine. And you get, Boo really wanted to get that inside line there to try and get the run, but just car not agreeing with him there, just getting a little bit squirrely. So he's gonna have to wait and try again here. Oh, there we go. Magic Man really wide. This is Bo's opportunity here. Boo should get the run on that car here. And he's going to be none too happy than to try and get around Magic Man here. Is Magic Man going to opt to back out is the question. Yeah, he's going to back off here so these guys can get the optimal line through the corner. You can see Magic Man gets a little bit wide there. He does a great job to keep it together. Does a great job at keeping it on the racetrack there. As Boo Fushidara now up into P11 here. So good job by Boo. Let's see if he can chase down P10. Sorry, P9. He's in P10 here. Obviously, we have a driver making a pit stop. Alright, so back up front is our race leader, Pigums. And he's looking good. Looking good. Nice, smooth lines right now. He's got a very good, comfortable cushion. And again, very calculated race car driver, so Piggums is in a good spot here, but is he going to have to make another pit stop here this race? That, I'm thinking yes. He did pit around that 20-minute mark. We got Hairraiser here at P2, and now Ibra all the way up into P3. Obviously, a lot of these guys have made those pit stops already, so Ibra now up into the P3 position here, chasing Hairraiser, who's in P2. And you can see they're not that far behind each other here either, so potential battle there going to be brewing between those two drivers. We got Dugborough as well, who's just behind Ibra here in P4. We've got Bar 27 now lurking his way up here in P5 with Tro and Kobe in tow back into P6 here. Petrolhead down into P7 and looking like he's just come out of pit lane, carrying a 3-second penalty there, so he's crossed pit line. That's going to hurt big time as Pappy here in P8's coming around right now. Supra in behind in P9, and Boo Fushidara is starting to close the gap, so here we go. And Boo's going to get that inside line on Supra, going to get the pass done. P9 for Boo Fushidara. Next target, Happy Pappy. Can he get him? Here we go. Boo Fushidara has no choice. He is full sending here right now. He has to in order to gain as many positions as he can here. Just having a very unfortunate sequence of events in this race, and just doing everything he can to recover from it now and grab as many positions as possible here before the end of the race. So we got 15 minutes left. I told you guys I'd bring this information up right around that time. So here we go. So this is, we can see all our timing gaps. Boo Fushidara has about 10 seconds to the next driver, who is Petrolhead up ahead of him. Got Bo Snipe here in P10. We got Pappy making a stop. We got Magic Man making a stop. We got Type R here in 13th. And Piggums. Piggums is down the road. 23-second gap from second place Hairraiser. It's not quite enough if he has to make a pit stop to maintain that position. So decision-making time here for Piggums. Can he go the rest of the race? Hairraiser in P2. Ibra just 3.3 seconds behind. Ibra has Doug just 4 seconds behind him. Doug has Bar 27 just 3 seconds behind him. Tron Kobe is just out of slipstream range here, and if he gets his corner right, that might change with Bar getting a little bit sideways there. As you can see, that time's ticking down. And there we go. Tron Kobe should be in slip here by the end of this straight. So Tron Kobe closing in on P5 Bar 27 here. We got Petrolhead in P7. He's got about 14 seconds there. He had that 3-second penalty. That didn't help him any. He's trying to keep Boo Fushidara behind here. And Boo has quickly opened up a gap on 9th place Supra here in behind. So the drivers are now running their paces here. Ooh, Magic Man's having some issues here. It seems like his connection is getting worse as the race is progressing here. It's really unfortunate. But Piggum's in the lead. You can see the tires are probably starting to fight him a little bit there. He got a little bit wide coming out of that corner there. And I mean, he's got 24-second gap here right now. There's no need to really over push this car here, so. Hairraiser here in P2. Opening that gap up on third place driver Ibra by about half a second from the last time we were here. So it was about this point in the racetrack even actually. So Ibra losing a little bit of time to P2 there. We got Doug also picking time up. No, losing time as... no, gaining time, 2 seconds. Oh, I'm so confused, chat. Ha! Bar 27 here, 3 seconds behind Doug. Tron Colby losing a little bit of time to Bar 27 there. Petrolhead's actually picked up about a second on those guys up ahead. Boo Fushidara not picking any time up on Petrolhead at all here right now. Supra here in P9 with Bo chasing him down. 1.2 seconds at this point, so he's starting to close the gap in on Supra here. And woo, Supra went really wide, so he really gave Bo Snipe a chance to close the door there. Bo's now in the slip here, so Potential chance for Bo to grab a position here coming through these next couple of corners, coming to the next straightaway. We'll have to see what happens here. We're definitely going to keep our eye on it. And there we go. He should be right on the back end of Supra as we're coming near this kink. The question is, does he sit behind or does he make the move? He's going to sit behind here. We may see a move come into the chicane potentially. No, Supra's going to defend here. He's not even going to give him the opportunity. But he went really wide defending there. And, ooh. And there we go. Bo Snipe is going to get the job done there, forcing Supra into a defensive position. Supra late on the brakes, missing that corner. So Bo Snipe moving up a position. And we got Bufu Shadara coming back into pit lane here. I think he just took a fresh set of tires on here and is just going to try and absolutely catch anybody he can. But 3-second penalty is not going to help him there. Happy in 12th and Type R in 11th. We got Magic Man in 13th here, and Pigums is just running away with this thing at this point here with 10 minutes remaining, little over 10 minutes. So is Pigums going to pot the first win of the season for him here in the GTRC? He's kind of starting to look this way, folks. Definitely starting to look like it. But Pigums is definitely pace. He's on a very good pace. 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes. Looking like he pit there between lap and lap 20 and 21 there, judging by the lap times we see there. And a lot of trail braking for Pigums here right now. He's just making sure that he's doing everything in his power to keep it all together here for the remainder of the race. So he's looking good in every sense here. He's just got to not make the big mistake here at this point. And even if he does make the big mistake, as long as he doesn't get full engine damage in this car, still may be enough to keep him where he is. But it's definitely going to start to put some pressure on him with Hairraiser in P2 and Ibra in P3 behind. So Hairraiser sitting here in P2 is having a good run here this week. And as sitting in this position, you're looking up ahead of you. You got 26-second gap on the P1 driver. Your focus is not trying to catch P1 at this point. Your focus is trying to make sure that P3 and P4 don't catch you. So Hairraiser is not in a terrible position here in a sense either. He's just got to maintain that gap from Ibra there in P3, and he's going to bring home a nice solid P2 finish. Ibra here in P3 on the one-stop strategy, so we're going to see how that plays out. Thankfully for him, the driver behind Chasing's also on the same strategy with the same car. So it's going to come down to whether or not Doug can really climb up and catch up to him. Bar 27 here in P5. And he's having a pretty solid race, but you can definitely see that car a little bit squirrely coming out of the exit there. You get on it just a little bit too early, and these cars just want to kick out on you. Tyrone Colby here in P6. Doing everything he can to catch up to Bar 27 here. He's having a fantastic race here today. Petrol in P7. Pretty good recovery drive after what we saw earlier in the race there. Just unfortunate incident making contact with another driver. Waiting to give that position back, and he's had to play catch up ever since. We got Bo Snipe here in P8 in that Mustang. Doing a great job in that Mustang here around Suzuka today. We got Supra in P9 here as well. And Bufu Shadara in P10s. I think he's starting to gain a little bit on Supra here. And Type R and Pappy here in P10 and, or I'm sorry, 11 and 12 here. Just having a good race between the two of them here today. All day long, these two have been nose to tail all the way through this racetrack. And just having an absolutely great showing, both these drivers here today. You see Magic Man just coming around here right now. Still laggy, but that's alright. He's done a pretty good job. Looks like it hasn't affected the race too much so far. So, Pigum's here in P1. I mean, what else do we say? It's his race to lose at this point, with literally 7.5 minutes remaining. So, Let's go see if we can find us a little battle happening here. P2, pretty good gap. I mean, it's quiet. Doug is starting to close in on Ibra here, so we might see a battle for P3 here soon enough. But that's also going to bring Bar 27 into the equation here. He's starting to close these guys up as well. Troll and Kobe's just off in the distance here, so might see a little P3 mid-pack battle happen before the end of this race here. Petrolhead, of course, pretty big gap here from him to the top 6 drivers, so these guys a little bit behind the group here. Alright, so, you know, Bufu Shidara, who's our current standings leader coming in around 9 here, very quick, clean, efficient race car driver, but you see, even the top contenders make mistakes throughout these races, so persistence always pays off in these races, and Pigums has been chasing Bufu Shidara all season since he's entered the series, and just constantly giving him props at how quick of a driver and how hard it is to catch up to him. But consistency also pays off in these races, and Pigums is very, very consistent driver. And today it's going to pay off for him here, as Boo's just made a series of mistakes midway through this race here, and really cost him a lot of position on the racetrack. And when you have close racing like we do here at the GTRC, very close to losing it there. You lose a lot of positions when you make a mistake. So when you make a series of mistakes, it definitely hurts, and that is the case here today for Bufu Shidara. So still doing everything he can, of course, to grab positions, but he's got his work cut out for him. Hair Raiser here in P2. He's just had a very solid, consistent race. He hasn't really been battling too much. The one battle that I seen him have, he didn't really fight it too much. He's a smart race car driver, Hair Raiser is, sitting in P2. Ibra here, sitting in P3. He's not in a comfortable position here right now. He's got pressure. Oh, and he made the mistake, so Doug's going to get P3 right there. Ibra getting it a little bit wrong there, and Doug's going to take the position. So Doug now moving up into P3. Really unfortunate there for Ibra, just making a little bit of a mistake there. And that brought Bar 27 into the picture here as well. So a nice little battle here for podium position as we're getting near the end of our race. A little under 5 minutes remaining here, ladies and gentlemen. So a race on. Bar 27 is going to take a look here. He's going to try and get that inside track coming into these next set of corners. Ibra's saying, nah, buddy. I'm going to go a little late on the brakes. Did not pay off for him there. He got really deep. He's going to have some dirty tires here now as he's coming around the second part of this corner. And Bar 27 is just saying, thank you very much. I'll take that position. So Bar 27 now up into P4. So Ibra on the losing end of 2 positions there, dropping down to P5. That's all it takes is a couple little mistakes. A couple little mistakes and you lose position here when the racing is this close, folks. Petrohead in P6. We got Trone in P7. Not sure what happened to Trone. Obviously, he made a big-time mistake. Bull Snipe here in P8, chasing Trone. We got Super here in 9th, but Bufu Shidara battling with him right now on the outside, trying to get the inside track for the next set of corners. A little bit of rubbins there. Ooh, Super going wide. Bo saying thank you. And now on the road to try and catch Bull Snipe. 4.5 seconds. 3.5 minutes remaining. Can he do it? Supra now into P10. We've got Type R here in P11 and Pappy in P12. Still there. Not battling these two. Very smart driving by these two all race long. But Pigums is our race leader, and he is starting to catch up to Magic Man in the back of the field here. So he's going to have to start contending with a little bit of lap traffic here. Still got us a little battle there for P3 yet, folks. If Bar 27 can close up Doug here, we do have a potential for another position change before the end of this race for the podium here. So It's really hard to say what's going to happen here. All it takes is a little mistake. We've seen it lots today. One little mistake is costing these drivers positions. So when the racing, again, is this close, we got Pappy and Type R just right nose to tail here coming through this sector. Is Happy Pappy going to be looking to get a move done here before the end of this race? Magic Man getting it wrong there. He's got the race leader coming in on him here now. Hopefully he's aware that the race leader's coming on him. He just moves it on over. Great job there by Magic Man to allow that race leader to get through fairly efficiently there. Just waiting for a safer moment to allow Piggums to get through there, and did that, and Piggums is on his way. So what do we got left here? We got a minute and a half left, so I believe this will be white flag lap for our leader. And he has a significant lead on the field here. So, I mean, Piggums, again, all he's got to do is just bring this thing home. And this is his race to lose, basically. So he's looking good. I'm sure he's going to be happy with his result today. But he'll be gutted for his competitor, Bufu Shidara. Piggums is a competitor. He wants to beat Bufu Shidara. He wants to get him straight up. So he's going to be happy having a first place finish here today. But I don't think he's going to be satisfied with the way it happened today. You know what I mean? And it's going to be close for the rest of the drivers of whether or not they're going to get one more lap here. We're looking at about 30-second gap to P2. And Piggums is just coming across the line now. So Piggums is on the checkered flag lap. This will be the final lap. Potentially a victory lap here for our first place driver. So we're going to stick with Hair Razor here as he's coming around right now. This is potentially race finish for Hair Razor here in P2. We got a battle for P3. Bar 27 and Doug are right nose to tail here. So right behind our P2 driver, Hair Razor, as a matter of fact. So this battle is going on right down to the start-finish line here. And congratulations. Yes, Hair Razor in P2. Doug and Bar to the finish line. Doug's going to finish P3. Bar's going to get P4. Ebert coming through with a P5. Drag race by a nose. Doug gets Bar 27. Great finish there by those two drivers. Sixth place finish for Petrolhead. Great job by Petrol. We got Tron Colby coming through here right now. Solid 7th place finish here for Tron Colby. I know he should be pretty pleased with that. He's had a fantastic race here today. And get a little low on the fuel skis, but solid finish. P7 for Tron. And Bufu Shidara making up some time. He managing to get around Bow Snipe. And is going to recover here and come all the way back up to P8. So great job by Bufu Shidara there. We got Bow Snipe here coming across in P9. Congratulations to him. We've got Supra here. He's going to come around in P10. We got Type R and Pappy coming down to the wire between these two drivers. We love to see it too. We absolutely love to see it. And we got our race leader just behind these two. So what a great race by these two here for 11th and 12th place. And it's going to be Type R for P11 and Pappy for P12. So congratulations. Oh, and Piggums with the race win here in P1. Getting the bonus lap, the victory lap here in that Supra today. So great job by Piggums dominating the race here today. P2 for Hair Razor. Again, Doug rounding out our podium here today with a very close finish with Bar 27 at the finish line. Eber in P5, Petrol in P6, Tron Colby in 7th, Bufu Shidara in 8th, Bow Snipe in 9th, Supra in 10th, Type R in 11th, Pappy in 12th place, Magic Man in 13th. We have Arroyo in 14th, putting the car behind the wall, and Astro finishing in P15, of course, having to retire his car quite early in the race. So, unfortunate for those two drivers, but that's all right. We still got 3 more races remaining in the season yet. So, congratulations to all the drivers. Great job by Piggums. Dominating race here by Piggums. Once Bufu Shidara left the window open for him, he absolutely just ran away with this race. So, Congratulations to all the drivers here today. It was a great race. Great racing through the whole pack as usual. It's the same every week here with these guys. There's never a dull moment in these races. They fly right by as far as a broadcaster standpoint goes. So man, just great job by these guys. They make it so easy when it's fun like that. And the etiquette in this group is phenomenal. So, we've seen a racing incident on track on the stream, and the reaction from that racing incident was both the driver that caused the incident, whether intentional or unintentional, whatever the case may be, stopping and giving that position back, losing positions for himself as well. So, we love to see the racing etiquette. We really, really do. But congratulations to Pigums. That was a beaut. Alright, so we're just going to jump over into the chat that the boys are hanging out in. We're going to go get all set up for podium interviews, so I'm just going to flip the screen. Don't run away, chat. We'll be right back.
Away.
Yep. I'm here. No, I just had my microphone flipped up. Alright, great job. Everybody, great race today, and exciting for others, and some mistakes made by quite a few of the drivers here with the technical nature of the racetrack. Of course, all the cornering here at the racetrack making it very difficult on the tire wear here today, and we've seen some drivers definitely struggle with it a little bit. But congratulations to the whole field. Great racing by all again. Great racing etiquette on the track as always, week in and week out, and great job by Bar 27 there in 4th place. A notable mention, really making it interesting there for the final podium position. But with that being said, we're going to move to our 3rd place driver, Doug. So congratulations to start off with, man, for a good solid P3 finish here again. And I know that since the update, they've taken a little bit more out of your car for the series here. So let's talk about that a little bit. How did you manage the poor straight line speed that the BRZ seems to keep suffering from Polyphony Digital here?
I didn't manage it at all. I was mullered. Every straight I got mullered. Every straight. So, just there was one bit that I was quicker than, and I'd sort of like gain a bit of ground, and then we'd come to the back half of the circuit. I just watched everyone drive away. So yeah, when Bo didn't go in, I didn't go in. I thought if he can make it, hopefully I can. And yeah, that was it.
And absolutely, and unfortunately for Boo, tire degradation and a couple of minor mistakes really got to the best of him for this race, which really opened up for the rest of you guys to make up some ground in the standings here. So a little bit of an unfortunate series of events for Boo Fushidara, and you found your way into 3rd place. Now, Bar 27 was really starting to apply the pressure on you near the end of the race. What were you thinking in the back of your mind as he was nipping away at that time before the end of the race there?
I was just thinking, I've still got some grip left. It hasn't got to the level where I don't feel like I've got any, like it did in the first stint. So just try and push. I'd saved enough fuel to be able to push a bit harder the last couple of laps. Their cars were always going to be faster than mine anyway. It was always seeming like a losing battle. So it was just push through the bit that I can go faster and hope for the best on the bit that I'm slower on. And I'm obviously at that stage, my tyres are really worn. I think Bar did a 2-stop, so his tyres were a lot fresher. So it was where I'm slow, I'm even slower. Where I'm quicker, I'm not quite as much quicker. Hope for the best. That's all it was. That's why I went for a 1-stop in the end. I was like, I've got to hope for the best. My fuel was getting hammered trying to keep up with the cars in front, which I wasn't doing very well. So it was, yeah, it's one of those. Do it on the fly, make your decisions as you're going round and see what happens.
Well,
so, yeah, with not closing me down, it was just hope not to get taken coming out of the last chicane. I think it might not have quite been so close had I not got hammered into the last chicane, because I practically had to stop the car. But he didn't fly past me, so fair play. But yeah, that was the worry, because I've got no acceleration from low speeds. I was thinking to myself, I'm going to get mullered here now. Going to have to do an incident report, but luckily I didn't get mullered, so I don't mind.
Absolutely, and I mean, a great race to the finish line there. Wasn't really sure which one of you two was going to get it, obviously knowing that your car just doesn't have the horsepower to really get that thing moving. It just doesn't now, which is really unfortunate. But again, you did
I'm nearly 100 horsepower down on him, maybe around that area.
Yeah, it's quite significant, but nonetheless, great job. Good strategy getting you back up to the front, and a P3 finish should definitely help bolster those points in the chase to Bufu Shidara, who's leading currently.
Yeah, well, I needed it after last week. I got my position taken away from me after last week, so I needed to do something good this week. I'm quite strong on this circuit anyway, so it was one of those fingers crossed moments, you know.
Absolutely.
Just waiting for the next update when I lose some more power, or what they'll do is when they repair the glitches they put into this update, it's another chance for them to sneak a bit more power off me.
Yeah, quite possibly. You just never know. Maybe they'll do you a favor this time.
No, they won't. You know they won't. This is me. It's not going to happen that way.
Nonetheless, man, great drive, finding your way
well
to that top
Ibra
three.
As well.
Yes.
Well done to Ibra. Had a great race with Ibra, catching him up. A 360 spin on about the third lap, coming out of the pits, going around the sweeping left hand. I can't remember what it's called. And I thought, oh, I've lost it now. I'm not going to go. I was slowly gaming Ibra. I thought, I'm not going to catch him. Managed to catch him. Hoped he'd hold bar up more than he did, but that wasn't going to happen. So well done to Ibra in the other really low-powered car.
Yes,
well
no, absolutely great job by both the drivers in the BRZ today. We were definitely interested to see how that car was going to handle today with the rest of the cars on track, and you guys did a pretty good job. It took a little bit of strategy to get you to where you are, but racing is just as much strategy as it is skill. So again, just great job, and shout-outs, my guy. Shout-outs.
Big shout out to all the boys. Well done to Pigs. Well done to Razor. Unlucky to Bo, because he has been phenomenal round here in practice all week, so that was just unlucky. Yeah, well done to everyone. Thanks to yourself for doing it, and you know, good to have a full grid at the start. So yeah, thanks to everyone, really, everyone involved.
Absolutely, and again, congratulations on a P3 finish, and see you for next week's Miatas.
Yes, thank you.
All right, so moving to our second place driver, ladies and gentlemen, Hair Razor. Back kind of in the podium positions there today. Had a really good solid drive out of you today. We seen really only kind of one solid battle that you were involved in early on in the race with Pigums, and you didn't really battle him too much for the position. You just gave it up, decided not to wear your race car out, and coming around with a really solid P2 finish. So obviously you knew you had a pretty large gap from you to first place driver Pigums near the end of the race there. So what was kind of going through your mind thought process there? You know you don't have a shot at first unless you really makes a big mistake. You're just trying to manage the gap from, of course, that battle for third place at this point.
Yeah, just try and manage the gap. I knew I couldn't catch Pigums, to be honest, because he's a very quick driver, and basically, really, well, Doug's really quick as well, and so is Ibra, and so is Bar, and of course, with being at Red Bull the other week, it was a catastrophe, really. I didn't really get very far, really struggled a little bit with Red Bull, but in this one, I didn't think I was going to even come out on the podium. I was expecting probably 5th, 6th or 7th, somewhere down there, but I really surprised myself, to be honest, and I did the one stop. I knew the tyres would wear really quick towards the end of the one stop, and I've tried the one stop, and they just go off for like 2 laps before the end, and it's just like, well, if anybody's going to do that, they must be crazy, really. But you know, obviously it worked for Doug, and obviously Pigums and myself did the 2-stopper, and it really worked out for me and Pigums, so I'm happy with that.
Absolutely, and I mean, Bufu Shidara was very early on in control of the race, and then, as I said, just had a series of unfortunate events with that Porsche near the end of his first stint there, and that really cost him some time on the racetrack. He's still recovering fairly well near the end of the race from that, but really changed the whole perplexion of this race. So at that moment when you were sitting there in second place and you had that cushion in front of and behind you, kind of what was going through your mind?
I just thought, well, I can't make any mistakes, because if I make a mistake, I'm going to get lynched. So I think I knew I had it in the bag probably about 5 or 6 laps before the end. If I just kept my cool, and so I just kept my cool and tried to do the apexes and things that I could, and yeah, I managed to keep it. So I'm well happy with that. I'm well proud of it.
Absolutely, and we were saying to the viewers that you didn't have the best showing over in Austria in the last round there, so you were definitely going to be looking for a good result. You're happy with how it turned out for you today?
I am indeed, mate. I am indeed. I'm just very sorry for Bo, because, like you say, he's a very good driver, and we all have the odd incidents every now and then, and you just got to pick yourself up and get back in for the next race.
Well, it kind of looked like he had a tie rod issue or something to do with the suspension there. The car just really didn't want to seem to cooperate with him on that lap that he was having the struggles with there. But he got it into pit lane, and his crew got working on it, and looked like they had it fixed, because he had like I said, pretty good recovery drive there near the end of the race. So it happens to the best of us, whether you're a top-notch race car driver or just learning. The race cars unfortunately break. That's just a part of the game. But congratulations, man. Great P2 finish. And the standings are definitely going to shake up here a little bit after this week's round. So very, very interesting to see what's going to happen, especially in those top 6 spots, as I believe that's really going to tighten up the standings there for all you guys that are fighting up there. So we're getting spicy coming into our final 3 rounds here of this GT3 Championship. So how are you feeling for your next race?
I've not seen the next. I think it's Nürburgring GP.
I believe so.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a tricky one, but maybe depends on the strategy and the weather, of course, because I know it can rain. And I thought it was going to rain in today's race. It was like 2 or 3 laps before the end, and the track was getting really greasy, and I did think it was going to rain.
Well, thankfully it didn't, because that would have really thrown a wrench in a lot of drivers' programs with that many laps left in the race on some worn slick tires. Thankfully, Japan's weather cooperated for the drivers here today. But Nürburgring always provides really good racing as well, so I think we're going to see some pretty intense action over in Nürburgring here in a couple of weeks as well. So anything you want to add to your race today?
Yeah, can I just do a congratulations to all the drivers, Pappy, Simon, Petrol, and Supra, and Trone, and also all the fans that have been watching today. It's been great having them all.
Absolutely, you definitely had some new people in watching today. We had D.90 from Facebook raid the Facebook page, so we had up to 15 live viewers there for a while. So you definitely got some good viewage there today, so it's fantastic to see.
Great stuff, thanks fans.
And shoutouts.
Congratulations to all the drivers again on the podium, and we're very well done. And that's it, thank you.
Absolutely, cheers, and we'll see you for MX5 next week.
Can't wait.
Beautiful. All right, and finally the man on the top of the podium. We know this guy has been chasing this spot all season long. He gives his respect where respect is deserved. He knows Bufu Shidar is a formidable competitor, but today you're the one that comes out on top of that battle between you and Bufu Shidar. So how you feeling, my man?
Tired. Oh, that was a stressful race. I just, I don't think I would have caught him if that didn't happen. So I kind of feel bad. That sucks that happened for him.
Oh, well, that's part of racing, though. Like I said, it really did look like that he had broken a tie rod or something in that front suspension of that Porsche RSR, and under braking, that car just did not want to rotate for him. It kind of just wanted to swing around, and of course you get a little bit of combination of dirty tires from getting off on the track edge, just compounding the problem, and yeah, really unfortunate for him there. He just had a bad series, but they got it fixed up and he got back on track and he gave it everything he had, and had a pretty good recovery there for finishing in P8, I believe it was, overall. So I mean, really, it was a pretty simple race for you. You had an early battle with a couple of the guys up front. You got around Hair Razor. He didn't really seem to battle you there. It was early on in the race. Just some smart racing decision, obviously, by your competitors there, not to lose time in a battle. And you just kind of stuck behind Bo, chasing him down, and swapped positions a couple times. And then Bo had his little incident mid-race there, and you just kind of seemed to run away with it. So what's going through your mind at that point in the race?
Just don't make a mistake. Just this car was a bit of a handful around here. Didn't really want to do any kind of turning at all. So it was just a matter of just try not to kill the tires and just try to keep it on the track.
Absolutely, and I mean, you had a formidable gap. You were able to take a pit stop, you were able to get new tires, you were able to take a splash of fuel if needed, and still come back out in P1 with about a 20-second gap there. So how does that change a race for a driver leading the race with that kind of a comfort zone? Do you find that you tend to almost start to feel complacent?
Oh, definitely. I would much rather have somebody in front of me to chase than be out there trying not to lose it to somebody else. I don't know what it is, but it's a lot easier to chase somebody than it is to stay ahead of them.
Absolutely, and we all know complacency can, just a lack of judgment for a half a second around Suzuka can absolutely cost you. So,
100%. When you don't get somebody right on you there, it's very easy for your mind to wander, and it only takes a second.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I mean, it was good pace by the whole field. You didn't really have any backmarker issues right up until, well, the end of the race, or you kind of when you caught the back end
Yeah,
of the
I think
field.
it was just over the last lap or two there, but
So-
no, everybody was great today.
Great pace by all the drivers, and I mean, it's tough, you know. We just kind of hung out with you there for a little bit while you were racing, but we knew that you were well in control. And like I said to the viewers, at this point, when you've got a 30-second gap with 15 minutes left, really, it's kind of your race to lose. But we did see that you were struggling with that Supra a little bit, not only in qualifying but also early on in the race. And the one thing we did see that it looked like you're struggling with was getting the rotation out of the car into the corners here. But midway
Yeah.
through the race and near the end of the race, it seemed like you kind of got that sorted out and you looked really dialed in. So,
No, it was definitely a struggle with this car. It just doesn't like to turn in, and especially on a track like this, you really need your car to turn.
well, it's a good points
Really
gain
need
for
the car to
you
turn.
here today. You're up in the top 10 in the standings as we're running down to our final races of the championship here, coming in a little bit late in the season, but making really good progress. So this race win here for you today is really going to help you out in that chase for the podium here. So how are you feeling as we're kind of moving forward to our last 3 races of the season?
Feeling good right now. I can't say today could have gone any better. So I couldn't ask for any more out of it.
And shout out to my man.
Just everybody that puts these together and comes out to race, and yourself and all the people watching. Just thank you to everybody. It was
Awesome.
a fun day.
Cheers, and congratulations on the first win for you here at GTRC, and I'm sure that's the first of many to come for you as we move forward into future events here as well. But great competition out there. The one thing we are noticing, ladies and gentlemen, as the series continue on, especially this season, we're seeing a lot more new faces coming into the Discord wanting to get involved in these championships, and because of that, the competition is getting very tough out on the racetrack. We're seeing different names bouncing all over those top spots here week in and week out. We love to see it. We love the competition, and I mean, just thank you to all you guys. You guys put in a lot of work for these races week in and week out to train and practice and get on point the way you guys are, and you put on a fantastic show every week. So each and every one of you guys on the track and off the track here at the GTRC, serious round of applause, because it's a great viewing experience. So thank you to you guys from the broadcasting standpoint. You make my job very simple.
Thank you.
All right, and you guys are
I'm glad to give everybody something fun to watch.
hey, you guys are free to speak. Thank you very much for your time.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
I've been corrected. That is Pigham's second win in the GTRC. I do apologize to Pigham's. I forgot about the Monza win. So, as they're giving me heck in the chat right now, I'll apologize live on the stream. I apologize to our winner here today, Pigham's, for the second win here at the GTRC, and quickly becoming a competitor here in the series. So, what a great race it's been today, ladies and gentlemen. You know, I just want to say congratulations to all the drivers on the racetrack. Again, they really do put in a lot of time and a lot of effort for these races. I see them in practice lobbies all week long for these races. It's really fantastic to get together in the chats. They talk to each other. They talk trash to each other. They help each other. They strategize together. And in return, we get absolutely fantastic racing week in and week out. So this has been presented by the GTRC, the Gran Turismo racing community. I am your host for today, GT45 Gaming, or Timothy Gray, as many of you know me as. And GT45 Gaming is also the proud sponsor of the GTRC racing community. And I just can't wait for next week's Miata series. So we're heading into round 4 of our Miatas. 3, round 3 of our Miatas next weekend. So that should be a lot of fun, and I believe I even got no, I don't have it. Alright, I thought I had the graphic here for you. I'm not sure where we are next week for the Miatas. I can't remember, but doesn't matter. It's going to be fun. It's Miata racing, baby. It's always fun. So, just a little mini-series. They do this. They have a big series, and they'll throw a couple of mini-series in the mock in with the GT3 Championship Series. That gives the drivers for the big series a lot more time to prepare and practice for the races and be ready for the races, and the mini-series is more for the rest of the community who doesn't want to get involved in the big series. They come into these little mini-series. It's also a way for the GTRC to also pace test drivers and see where they stand as far as their racecraft goes, their speed, their pace, all those things. So what we're doing here at GTRC is absolutely fantastic. You know, it's all about driver development and good spirited competition, and we see that week in and week out, and it's a lot of fun. That's why we work with this group, and of course that's why we decided to take the extra step and get really involved with this community. So huge shout out to these guys. Fantastic race here at Round 9. Congratulations to our top 3. Doug Burrow in 3rd place, Hairraiser in 2nd, and TPC's Pigums with the win here today. Win number 2, so I've been told. My bad. And again, we're heading over to GP in 2 weeks, so heading over to Germany for, well, we all know that's going to be a great race. GP always provides fantastic racing, so with that being said, we're going to shut this broadcast down, and thank you all so much. So for those of you that tuned in through the GTRC YouTube, thank you so much. Welcome. Hope you enjoyed the broadcast. Great race, guys. Thank you to Ghost for the commentary. Great job. Appreciate you, Doug. Just another great race by these guys. Week in and week out, man. They provide absolutely fantastic action. It's family friendly as well, folks. Bring the kiddies in to come and watch as well. We all know that the little boys and little girls out there love a good race. They love to watch the cars go around really fast. So family event, you know, if you're looking for something to do instead of doing a games day, come and hang out with us here at the GTRC on a Saturday afternoon and enjoying a good family-friendly race broadcast. We do appreciate everybody's support week in and week out, to all our returning viewers and new alike. And can't wait to see you all for MX5 next week. MX5s, they're so much fun. I love this series. Super exciting series. And can't wait to see you next week, same time, 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 p.m. UK Standard Time, ladies and gentlemen. That is when we are live for the GTRC. And again, I'm your host, GT45 Gaming. We'd like to thank you for taking the time to view today. If you haven't hit the like, share on the way out yet, please make sure to do so. It's a couple free things you can do to help all the communities grow. And that just allows us to reach more people with what we're doing here. And racing for a cause, racing for mental health here. You know, all these leagues, it's all about mental health and helping others and helping each other. And so we're always racing for mental health here through GT45 Gaming, and our communities involved with us. And we really do appreciate everybody. If you need somebody to talk to, feel free to reach out. My inbox is always open. The members, the communities, our inboxes are always open. Don't be scared. You'd be surprised who's willing to help. Sometimes all you need is someone to listen, and we're pretty darn good at listening. So please do feel free to reach out if you need somebody to talk to. Sometimes the outside opinion is easier to talk to than somebody closer to you, just because of the way it is. But we're here to help. Don't feel like you're alone, because you're not alone. You all matter. Stay winning. We love you so much. Peace and love. We'll be back next week. Take care, everybody.